As the sun set over Rawalpindi, a historic moment in cricket was unfolding. Pakistan had defied the odds to claim an emphatic 9-wicket victory over England, clinching a 2-1 series triumph that would be remembered for years. This wasn't just any series win. For Pakistan, it was an end of a drought, a first Test series victory at home in 3 challenging years, a breakthrough after 6 consecutive series losses. It was a victory that came at a pivotal time, under the leadership of a captain who'd been thrust into the role with the weight of a nation's expectations on his shoulders. The story begins long before the series itself. Pakistan had been through a grueling period of losses, and each match had only intensified the doubts, criticisms, and pressures faced by the players, coaches, and fans. For the team, the upcoming Test series wasn't just another set of matches. It was a chance to rewrite their story, to remind everyone of their resilience and grit, especially on home soil. When Shan Masood was announced as the new Test captain, it was met with mixed reactions. Masood, known for his consistent domestic performance and strategic thinking, was not a newcomer to the game, but he was stepping into a role shadowed by 6 straight series losses. There was pressure from every angle, from fans craving a victory, from the media analysing his every move, and perhaps most of all, from the legacy of Pakistan's cricketing history itself. Masood's challenge wasn't just about leading a team, it was about reviving a nation's faith in its cricketing heroes. Pakistan had been knocked down repeatedly, but Masood saw an opportunity, a chance to embrace Pakistan's reputation for unpredictable, aggressive cricket, while bringing a level of calm and calculated decision-making that he felt could tilt the odds in their favour. Before the first ball was bowled, Masood's approach to building the squad stirred conversations. While some expected him to rely on younger, newer talents, he took a calculated gamble by selecting seasoned spinners Noman and Sajid Khan. Both players had the experience, but they hadn't played side by side recently, and against a team like England, their selection was a risk. Still, Masood's strategy was clear. He believed in harnessing the unpredictable nature of Pakistan's pitches to Pakistan's advantage, and he saw in these 2 spinners the chance to shake England's aggressive batting lineup. Masood also knew that consistency would be key. Pakistan's biggest criticism over the last 2 years had been their inability to stick with a game plan under pressure. He spent hours with the team reviewing footage, strategizing, and mentally preparing each player to embrace the series as a test of resilience. He worked closely with the bowling coach to ensure that the spinners, pacers, and fielders were all aligned, creating an unspoken unity that would prove essential as the series progressed. The opening match in Multan was in many ways a wake-up call. England's aggressive baseball approach was like a sledgehammer to Pakistan's carefully laid plans. England's batters came out swinging, turning even cautious balls into boundaries, and putting Pakistan's bowlers on the defensive from the outset. By the end of the first day, it was clear that Pakistan's bowlers would have to dig deeper than expected, facing a relentless assault that left them struggling to keep England's run rate under control. For Masood, watching his bowlers under such pressure was painful. He paced the sidelines, analysing each play, each decision. When Pakistan finally came to bat, the story wasn't much different. England's fielders moved with a level of precision that kept Pakistan's score in check. Each dismissal echoed louder than the last, and by the end, Pakistan had suffered a crushing innings defeat. Masood faced the press with the weight of the loss on his shoulders, fielding questions about his decisions and the team's morale. He acknowledged their mistakes, but his message was clear. The series wasn't over, and Pakistan's spirit was far from broken. Back in the locker room, Masood called a team meeting. He spoke about the pressure they were facing, but encouraged his teammates to see it as fuel rather than weight. It wasn't about changing the entire game plan. It was about adjusting, responding, and learning. The team discussed what had gone wrong, but instead of dwelling on it, Masood emphasized the importance of focusing on the next test, a chance to prove they had learned from Multan and were ready to bounce back. Coming into the second test, Pakistan had restructured their approach. Masood put Noman and Sajid at the forefront, relying on their spin to disrupt England's rhythm. The first innings showed glimpses of the old Pakistan magic. Noman's left-arm spin was lethal, each delivery turning just enough to force England's batters into errors. Sajid complemented him with subtle variations that baffled even the most experienced English batsmen. Pakistan's fielders too felt the shift. With each wicket, their energy returned, and the Karachi crowd roared with every boundary saved and every catch taken. By the time England's lineup had collapsed, Pakistan's confidence was visibly restored. The team's camaraderie was stronger than ever, and the bowlers worked with a newfound synergy that had been missing in the first test. When Pakistan came out to bat, they played with patience, determination, and a steady approach that ultimately paid off. Each run was met with encouragement from the crowd and a nod from Masood, who watched each play carefully. His strategic decisions were paying off, and he knew that a win in Karachi could shift the entire series in their favor. When Pakistan secured the win, it wasn't just a victory on paper. It was the momentum shift they'd needed. The third test in Rawalpindi was set to be a battle of endurance, skill, and mental fortitude. The pitch was notorious for spin, and with Noman and Sajid's success fresh in their minds, Pakistan went into the match with a targeted plan. From the first day, England found themselves struggling to find the gaps they had exploited in Multan. Noman's sharp spins and Sajid's deceptive variations frustrated England's batsmen, turning every ball into a challenge. By the third day, Pakistan had England pinned down. With a target of only 36 runs, Pakistan was within arm's reach of a historic victory. Masood's decision to open the innings himself showed his leadership and determination. He approached each ball with a calculated yet confident stance, dispatching boundaries with a precision that echoed his leadership style: calm, assertive, and unyielding. Within minutes, Pakistan had secured the win, their first Test series victory at home in 3 years. As the final boundary was hit, the crowd erupted, cheering not just for the win, but for the redemption of a team that had fought through setbacks and challenges. Masood's faith in his players, his unorthodox choices, and his resilience had culminated in this moment of triumph. The celebrations that followed were euphoric. Pakistan had been waiting for a series win at home, and this victory resonated deeply across the nation. Masood's approach to the game had not only won the series, but had reignited a spark of hope and pride in Pakistani cricket. In post-match interviews, he spoke about the journey, the challenges, and the courage it had taken to reach this point. Noman and Sajid became household names, celebrated for their game-changing performances. The entire team was lauded for their resilience, unity, and ability to adapt under pressure. For Pakistan, the victory was more than just a win. It was a return to form, a symbol of their fighting spirit and a promise of more victories to come. Masood's journey as captain was only just beginning, but he had left a lasting mark on Pakistan's cricketing history. The series victory was a reminder that Pakistan's cricket story is one of resilience, unpredictability, and most importantly, a never-ending pursuit of excellence.